what are the things around this time of year that you would think of as anxiety issues or phobic issues? And I'm guessing, I don't know what you think about this, Chris, but there might be issues around money as well, which could be understood
Yes,
as fear
financially.
related
Yeah,
things, right? Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
tell us
Well,
about that one.
yeah. I mean, so definitely the fear of um, having, especially if you're struggling, the fear of having to provide, like we were making the joke at the beginning about the children,
Yeah.
or, how's it going to look? Or, your family, it's like, oh, I haven't got the money and they're going to judge me and this kind of thing. So yeah, that idea that you have to provide a certain amount, and there's an again, it's that expectation of where you should be versus where you are, and that fear associated with it.
Yeah.
So money is a common form of stress in many
Yeah.
areas. The other one, of course, with Christmas is, if every Christmas your family got a bit too drunk and started arguing politics or
Sure.
something, or, and it ended up in screaming matches, then your association to Christmas is going to be very different than
Okay.
someone who was like, oh, Christmas is a wonderful time of year and the family comes together, and
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah, yeah,
having
absolutely.
some.
So
Yeah, please.
let's stick with the sort
Yeah,
of money thing. Let's say
sure,
what
sure.
somebody's in a situation
Yeah,
where there's quite a lot of people in this situation at the moment where they just don't have enough money to sort of buy
yes,
everything they want. I've
yes,
experienced that as a child myself. My parents worked very hard, but
yep,
they weren't wealthy by any stretch of
yes,
the imagination. Do you know what I mean?
yes,
So, um,
absolutely.
but that's where a lot of people are.
Mm.
And we can't change the fact of the amount of money we've got, can we? We can't magically sort of suddenly decide I'm going to have 10 times more money than I've actually got. So,
Yes.
given that that's a fact, what can you do psychologically around that? Because you can't change the amount
I
of money.
think it,
So, what is
yeah,
it
I
that you
think,
can offer?
I mean, there's a few things to do. The first thing is to realize that, so the most common one is, say, for the children. If you have young children, you want to provide a certain amount.
Sure.
But 5 years from now, the child isn't probably going to remember what toy they had.
Yes,
They're not going to remember or care. What they're going to remember is how they felt. And so
the
what's more
toy isn't going
important?
to be there anyway because
Yeah,
it's
exactly, exactly. It'll
pieces
be, they'll
somewhere.
have grown out of it. It'll be broken. It'll be gone to the charity shop. And so it is about thinking, well, what can I do? What can I control? And so creating that family environment, creating that togetherness is more important than rushing around, stressing yourself, trying to make bankrupting yourself and being miserable, because that's what the young people will remember. They'll remember the feeling they got from around this time. So it's remembering that the emotional state is much more important than the thing you get given. That would be one.
And that goes back to some of the earlier bits of the conversation to me, because
Yeah.
what we're talking about is a lack of feeling safe produces these anxieties and phobias in the first place.
Yes.
And we go
Yes.
into this fight, flight, freeze, which is the ultimate response to
Yes.
not safe. I'm not safe at the
Exactly.
level where I'm going to be deaded.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
And so we're
Yeah.
definitely trying to avoid that, right?
Yes. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Creating the feeling of safety, and security, support would be the biggest thing. Making the people around you feel supported and know that there's someone to turn to. Because the other thing that makes a phobia go in deep, same with trauma, is the feeling of perceived support after the event, which is why some people can go through some major traumas and it can be post-traumatic growth. They can actually improve their life from it, and other people end up stuck. And it's often to do with the perceived level of help and support they had.
Yeah.
And so it's true in every area of life, in everything, in most, most issues, say trauma with a small t as well.
Yeah. Are
So
there
it's great.
specific techniques as well that you can offer to people around managing these types of things? So there's a general
Yeah.
sense of the task as a parent always is to try and create a safe emotional space for kids.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
the fundamental task. Everything else is
Absolutely.
secondary to that in many ways, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, so there are various techniques to dial down that emotional charge. I can give you some quick ones in a minute.
Yeah.
There was something else I wanted to add there, but my mind is gone. Yeah, I mean, the one thing is to challenge the belief. What do I mean by that is look for everything we are doing, as I say, at some subconscious level is trying to solve a problem, even if it's a very low level way. And so one of the things you can do, even though it's not logical, is to challenge that belief and go, I need to make this Christmas perfect. So I'm getting stressed out. Okay, for what purpose do I want to make it perfect?
Yeah.
And oh, so everyone's happy. Right. Well, how happy is everyone when they're stressed, when I'm stressed out? And
Yeah.
it's sort of look, because normally the very thing you're trying to meet by this behavior is the very problem you'll be making worse. So it's looking at what the intention behind any behavior is. And that can help you get to the deeper insights into yourself. And as I say, none of this is logical or rational, so don't try and make it make sense.